Alright guys, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is that there's finally some news to report on, but the bad news is that the news is bad. But at least the market is acting like it's no news. On Monday, the SEC announced that they were going to be suing Binance for distributing unregistered securities to US customers, and then on Tuesday morning they just went ahead and threw in a lawsuit against Coinbase for the same thing. When the news first broke, as you can see, we did dip about 5%, but then yesterday after Gary Gensler went on CNBC, we started having a pump and we actually closed the day higher than we started the day before yesterday, whenever the SEC actually announced that they were going to be suing Binance.
Gary!
To me, this shows that the market really just doesn't respect Gary Gensler or the SEC.
What are you doing, Gary?
And that at this point it's pretty much irrelevant anything that Gary Gensler does because nobody respects him and he's just a clown.
Let's go, Gary! You're blowing everything.
In my opinion, however, I don't really think that this should have a negative effect on the market right now because just like you've seen with the Ripple or XRP case,
Blowing it!
it's taken them at least about 3 years or so for them to come to a conclusion and they still haven't even reached one to this day. We keep hearing whispers about the Ripple case coming to an end here soon and the SEC seems like they want to wrap it up, but it's been that way for the past 2 years and I really just don't think that there's going to be a foreseeable end for this Binance and Coinbase situation for at least a few years yet. Maybe this news will come back to bite us in the butt at the top of the market and send us plummeting for the next bear market or something like that. But that's still a few years away, and I really don't think that Gary Gensler or the government in general is going to have anything else that they can do that's going to have a negative impact on cryptocurrency during this bear market. If suing the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges out there isn't going to send us down more than 5% or even last more than a day, then I really don't think that there's much that they can do and they can just keep running their mouths because everybody realizes that they don't understand this technology and that it is the future and there's just not anything they can do about it. Like I've said in the past, everybody that was going to capitulate and was going to sell definitely did so during the FTX collapse, and that's the maximum amount of fear or pain that I think we're going to see in this bear market. So in my opinion, I think we've already reached the bottom and it's probably going to just be up from here. Of course, we're going to have some fluctuations and volatility, and right now over the past couple months or so, or maybe just the past month, I don't know, it seems like forever, but we have been in a downtrend. In my opinion though, I think that this downtrend is probably coming to an end here shortly, especially since it didn't actually even send us down for a significant lower low whenever we did get this insane, crazy news from the SEC. Essentially, I don't really think that there's any more catalysts that are going to have more sell pressure than we've already seen. And if you really zoom out here and kind of look at this, it actually looks, in my opinion, to be a possible bull flag forming here that we might be getting ready to break out of here in the next couple of days. If this is a bull flag, then how you project these into the future is that you take the height of the flagpole and project it from the breakout point, which would take us up to about $40,000. Coincidentally, that would take us right up to this trend line that we have bounced off of a few times here in the past, and at that point we might have a significant retracement, but I'm not really getting bearish because of this negative news from the SEC. As a matter of fact, I think that we're getting ready to go to the upside and probably up to about $40,000. A lot of people were talking about this possible head and shoulders right here. As a matter of fact, I even talked about it, but it didn't play out because the price target for that was supposed to be about $24,000 roughly even, and we didn't make it down that low, and this is usually a good sign that we are actually starting a new bull market. Because whenever bearish formations like this actually turn out to play out to the upside, then that means that the bears have totally lost control and the bulls are starting to fight back. In the SEC's lawsuit against Binance, they actually mentioned Filecoin, Algorand, Solana, ADA, and Matic, saying that these are actually securities and this could mean that they are going to be going after these projects in the future. For this reason, a lot of exchanges might actually start to delist these. And this is just another reason why you definitely want to keep your cryptocurrency in a cold storage wallet, because if it is on a centralized exchange, then they might just delist your crypto and they might actually stop even supporting it on the wallet, meaning that your assets will just be lost on the blockchain or that they'll absorb it into their business. So does this actually mean that it's time to sell your soul? Well, absolutely not. Obviously, this probably means that it's a really great buying opportunity. Because of this negative news, these coins and projects have started to see a little bit of a pullback, but they've probably already started to recover. And as long as you keep your cryptocurrency on a cold storage wallet, then you don't really have anything to worry about anyway. A few years ago, Gary Gensler was teaching a Bitcoin and blockchain course at MIT, and he had this to say.
You already know in the U.S. and in many other jurisdictions that 3/4 of the market are not ICOs or not what would be called securities. Even in the U.S., Canada, and Taiwan, the 3 jurisdictions that follow something similar to the Howey test that we've talked about, 3/4 of the market is non-securities. It's just a commodity, a cash crypto. So you'll hear debates about initial coin offerings and what's a security and what's not a security. Relevant and important debate. But for 3/4 of the market, it's not particularly relevant as a legal matter.
And where was Gary Gensler during the whole FTX debacle? It even appeared like he had some sinister connections to the duo here, and he might have even had some kind of a say or backhand in the goings-on of FTX, letting them slip by regulation and fly under the radar, ultimately leading to them being able, essentially, to just take billions of dollars from people and mismanage funds. But Gary Gensler had nothing to say about it, and I think that he's going to have to answer for these questions and other questions as far as the things that he's said in his MIT course and other cryptocurrencies not being securities in the past. To me, this all seems way too coincidental, and there just has to be something sinister going on. It really seems to me like all of this was allowed to happen so that there would be a reason for them to be able to actually go after cryptocurrency, as if it was almost an inside job by people that were pretty much put in this place by Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren and other people in government that don't want cryptocurrency to be a technology that takes off and basically replaces the dollar as the world reserve currency. And it would make sense for them to actually do some kind of a psyop and make sure that there's some kind of huge scam that they can point to and put all kinds of really tough regulations on cryptocurrency and just try to smother it before it has a chance to really take off. But I'm just going to take off my tinfoil hat and set it to the side right now because I don't really know and I don't have really any solid evidence except for this kind of stuff right here on this diagram. And we do still have some real news to get back into. So I digress. I did say in the past that during the FTX debacle, everybody was saying that Binance and CZ were the heroes of those times and everybody was basically just looking up to them as a shining example of what to be in cryptocurrency. But I was saying that we should definitely be skeptical because they do have offices all around the world that don't really have anybody in them, and there's a lot of really sketchy things that go on, and they could absolutely be doing the same exact things that were going on at FTX. So I'm not saying that there's definitely not anything sketchy going on or anything illegal going on, and maybe there should be somebody paying attention to the goings on at Binance to make sure that they're not mismanaging their customers' funds. But this isn't what this seems like to me. It actually seems like they want to take down cryptocurrency, and I'm not for that. So I guess if you have to pick sides, I'm going to be on CZ's side, but he's always been a little bit sketchy to me, especially because they have basically a separate exchange for Binance US. And it does seem like there's a lot of overseas sketchy things going in, like offshore bank accounts and stuff like that. But Brian Armstrong and Coinbase really seems like they were actually trying to do everything by the book and really push innovation here in the U.S. And I'm pretty upset about Gary Gensler and the SEC going after them because this is definitely going to push innovation offshore, and it's not going to be good for the U.S. in the long run. So hopefully they are going to get this stuff sorted out, and hopefully the U.S. will actually embrace this new technology and the innovation that it can bring to us. But no matter what, I don't think they're actually going to be able to crush cryptocurrency. They're just going to push the innovation offshore if they continue to act in the way that they have been. You might think that because Gary Gensler taught a class at MIT about blockchain and Bitcoin, that he's actually pro-Bitcoin and he's not trying to take down crypto altogether. But if that's how you feel, just listen to this clip right here.
We don't need more digital currency. We already have digital currency. It's called the US dollar. It's called the euro. It's called the yen. They're all digital right now. We already have digital investments. And you have entrepreneurs representing digital investments on this program all day long. And it's whether it's the the big tech companies, the automobile companies, you name it. It's all digital right now, the investing world.
In my opinion, though, his attack on cryptocurrency is going to be futile, and I think that a bull run is right around the corner if it hasn't started already. If the lack of a crash on this breaking news isn't enough evidence for you, then just check out this clip.
Because unlike the banks, these crypto assets all seem to be scams, and I want you out of them. Many of you traffic in them every day. You should. You're wrong.
And let me know in the comments, do you guys think that the SEC can actually take down crypto? Or do you think that this is a failed attempt by the government to crash crypto one last time and we're actually about to go to the moon? Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. This is Ibisu. He's named after one of the 7 lucky gods of Japan. According to legend, he will bring wealth and prosperity to anybody who evokes his name. So don't forget to write his name in the comments or you'll bring dishonor to your whole portfolio. And check out this video right here. Say goodbye, Ibisu.